Hey guys, what's up? It's me Shubho. I'm back with another Photoshop tutorial. Remember, if you even remotely like this video, please drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and hit the bell notification if you don't want to miss any future updates. With that said, let's go to the screen. So we are on the screen and let's get started. I actually have a list here so that I don't mess up. Anyway, so Ctrl+J is to duplicate your layer. We all know that. That's your first shortcut. Now, let's say you want to align something and you want to bring the ruler, and the shortcut for that is Ctrl+R. I actually already had it, and as you can see, it's Ctrl+R to bring the rulers, which is amazing. So now you can just drag it. Yes, convert to normal. Why? What happened? Okay. Now let's say you want a ruler, you can just drag it over here. And let's say you want the exact center, so you drag both of them to 50% and you know where the center of the image is. But let's say you want to hide it and you don't want to individually move every ruler. Let's say you have a lot of rulers, so you do Ctrl+H and all the rulers are gone, and then you want to remove this ruler from your margin, hit Ctrl+R again and it's gone. Okay. If you want a new layer, normally you would go and you would click this icon, but let's say you don't want to do that, so you're going to hit Ctrl+Shift+Alt+N and you have a new layer, as you can see. Anyway, the next thing is, let's say you have done a lot of edits on your thing. So let's duplicate this layer for good measure, and let's say you have taken a curves adjustment layer, and let's say you have done it like this, and let's say you have taken a hue saturation layer and you've increased the saturation and decreased the lightness or increased whatever. You have done a lot of things, and let's say you have another picture over here and you are making a composite. So for just in good jest, let's bring this picture over here, because why not? And let's say I want to select this part of the image and I want to delete it. Okay, Ctrl+D, and let's say I want to do something like this. Okay, now normally if I want to affect this totally, I would have to take an adjustment layer on top of it and it gets heavy. What I can do is I can take a type of screenshot of all these layers underneath and make it into a single layer. To do that, you will hold Ctrl+Alt+Shift+E and you take a screenshot. Kind of a screenshot. Now, even if you remove all of these images underneath it, as you can see, this is a single layer that's like this. Okay, but I don't want it, so let's delete it. And let's delete it too, and let's just bring it here. Now let's say you have done this and there are like 50 different layers. Let's take a vibrance layer and increase the vibrance, decrease the saturation. You have gone too far in the way of making adjustments and you want the original picture back. What you do is you hit F12 and it will remove everything and it will bring you back to the last save point. The last saved point, whatever you have saved last time. So that's that. The next thing you need to know is all these tools in the toolbar are associated with the letter. So if you hover it, you will see the move tool is V, the history brush tool is Y, the brush tool is B, and so on. But what you'll also notice is if you right click, there are like number of tools underneath the brush tool. So what you do in that situation is you, let's say you want to cycle through them, but you don't want to go and right click and do that. So what you do is, let's say I want the brush tool, so I hit B on the keyboard because that's the associated key with it. And I'll hold shift and I'll keep hitting B, and thus I will cycle through the submenu of the brush tool. This will work with any tool. Let's say you want the eyedropper tool. So the eyedropper tool letter is, why is this happening? Yes, I, as you can see right over here. So I'm going to hit I, I'm going to hold shift and I'm going keep hitting I, and as you can see, I'm cycling through the submenu. Okay, now let's say you want to select the highlights. So what you're going to do is Ctrl+Alt+2, and as you can see, the highlights of the image are selected. Okay, so you Ctrl+D to deselect. That's a new thing. That's not a new thing. That's another shortcut for you. That Ctrl+D is to deselect. Let's say I select this area. It's selected. I do whatever I want to do with it, and I don't want the selection anymore. I hit Ctrl+D and it's gone. Now let's say you want to bring back the selection. You hit Ctrl+Shift+D and the selection is back. That's that. Speaking of brush tool, let's say you take the brush tool and this here, you're gonna hit Alt and right click, and this thing brings up. Now if you move up, the hardness goes down. If you bring down, the hardness goes up, and then you can move right and left your mouse holding the right click to increase or decrease the size of the image. Remember, you must hold the right click while you are doing this, and you must also hold Alt. That's a new shortcut. What are some next things? Oh, yes, of course. You can also increase or decrease the size of your brush with the open and close bracket keys. As you can see, I'm doing right here. Another shortcut which long-term fans of this channel will know is Ctrl+Shift+A to bring the camera raw filter. It takes some time, but that's it. Ctrl+Shift+A to bring the camera raw filter. And then you have another thing related to masking and stuff like that. Let's say you want to apply the foreground and background color and you want to change it. So for example, this red and blue. So if I take the brush tool and I paint, as you can see, I'm painting blue. But let's say you don't want to paint blue, you want to paint red. Instead of just going here and changing it, if you already have red as your background color, you can just press X and now you're painting red. Press X again, you're painting blue. So this helps you alternate between the foreground and the background colors. Okay, what's next? Would you look at that? I have run through all my listed shortcuts. Anyway, here's a bonus. If you are trying to apply the foreground and the background color of your selection to any part of a layer, what you can also do is hit Control Backspace, which applies the background color, and you're going to use Alt Backspace to apply the foreground color. And you can hit D on your keyboard to switch your foreground and background color, as you can see, to black and white. Let's say this is this color, and let's say this is this color. So you hit D and it becomes black and white. So with that said, you have 2 bonus tips under 12 minutes. If you don't like this, I don't know what else you will like. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and like and share it with your friends. Tell me down in the comments below what you like to see next time from me. With that said, thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.